Good day everyone. My name is Jonavel Rivera from BSAD English, and today I'll be discussing about one of the most creative and expressive forms of writing, which is writing a creative nonfiction. So, in this report, I help you understand what creative nonfiction is and why it is important. So, its golden rules and some helpful tips and prompts that can guide you in writing your own piece. So, let's begin. So here are the objectives. By the end of this lesson, student should be able to define creative nonfiction and distinguish it from other nonfiction genres, identify and explain the four golden rules of writing creative nonfiction, and demonstrate your understanding by writing your own short creative nonfiction piece using the techniques we discussed today. So, what is creative nonfiction? So, when we say creative nonfiction, it is a genre of writing that combines truth with creativity. So, it tells real stories about real people, real events, real emotions, but it uses literary techniques to make the story more interesting, emotional, and powerful. So, ibig sabihin, or in a simple terms, it's about telling the truth in a artistic way. So you're not inventing stories. Instead, you are representing reality using tools of a storyteller. Here are the examples. As you can see, we have two examples. So the second version still tells the truth, but it uses imagery and emotion to make readers feel the experience. So that's what makes creative nonfictions different. It doesn't just inform, it touches the heart and imagination of a reader or of the reader. So as you can see in the second example, so it is creative nonfiction. So gumamit tayo ng imagery para mas makarelate yung reader. So the first example is just a plain nonfiction or factual, unlike the second example, which is the creative nonfiction na ginamitan nga ng imagery and emotion to make readers feel the experience. So, let's proceed to the four golden rules of writing creative nonfiction. Now, let's talk about the four golden rules that guide this type of writing. So, the first one is make sure everything is factually accurate, and the second one is play with perspective, and the third one is follow emotion, and the last one is use literary techniques. So, let's proceed to the first one. So, make sure everything is factually accurate. So, it means the foundation of creative nonfiction is truth. So, every detail, every event, and person you write about should be real and accurate. So, you may describe or interpret creatively, but you should never invent facts. So, hindi ka basta-basta pwede mangatha. So, for example, if you're writing about your childhood, you can describe how it feels like a dream or a movie. But you cannot make up things that never actually happen. So, hindi ka nga pwedeng mag-invent na lang ng stories. So, creative nonfiction is not about lying beautifully. So, ibig sabihin, it's about telling the truth beautifully. So, kailangan accurate siya and hindi ka dapat mag-invento ng stories. The second one is play with perspective. So, it means experimenting with the point of view or the angle from which you tell your story. So, di ba nga, pag sinabi nating perspective, ito yung mga POV kung tawagin or yung mga point of view. So, you can use first person if you're telling your own story. Or pwede namang third person if you're telling about someone else. You can even switch perspective to give readers a different emotional experience. For example, if you're writing about an important family event, pwede kang gumamit ng point of view mo, or imagine how it looked from your parents or your friends' perspective. So, depende kung ano yung gagamitin mo. So, Changing perspective helps make your story more dynamic and gives reader a fresh way of understanding your experience para mas relatable sila dun sa binabasa nila at para mas ramdam nila yung story na yon. The third one rules is follow emotion. So, it means your writing should not only show what happened, so it should also show how it felt or how it felt. Readers connect more to emotion than to plain facts. So, when you're writing, ask yourself minsan, so what did I feel during the moment? What did I learn from it? Or how did it change me? So, then, express those emotion through sensory details. So, describe what you saw or heard or touch or smelled. So, makakatulong to or it helps reader experience the moment with you. Kung ano yung naramdaman mo, narinig mo, na-touch mo or na-smelled mo. So, lalagyan mo siya or gives an emotion to your stories para mas relatable sila dun sa stories na yung ginawa. Literary techniques. So, use literary devices to make your writing vivid and artistic. So, this include imagery, metaphors, and symbolism. So, here are the examples. As you can see, we have imagery, metaphor, and symbolism. So, by using these techniques, your nonfiction story will read like literature. So, not just report of events but an experience that lives in a reader's imagination. So, yun yung last rules of writing creative nonfiction. So, next is tips for writing creative nonfiction. So, now that we understand the rules, here are some tips to help you become a better creative nonfiction writer. So, the first one is join writing programs or workshop. The second one is read a lot. The third one is connect with other writers. So, the first one is join writing programs or workshop. So, ibig sabihin, participating in writing clubs or workshop can help you improve your skills. You learn techniques, gain inspiration, and receive feedback. Receive feedback that can guide you to write better stories. So, pwede kang sumali online sa mga online programs, mga workshop, para makahelp sa iyo to become a better creative nonfiction writer. The second one naman is read a lot. So, sabi nga, diba, reading is one of the best way to learn how to write. So, when you read essays, memoirs, or personal narratives, you see how other writers express experiences creatively. So, it also helps you develop your own writing voice. So, it helps you then to become better a creative nonfiction writer. And lastly is connect with other writers. So, it means talking to other writers, sharing ideas, and reading each other works can inspire you to improve. So, writing is not just about words, diba? So, it is also about connecting with people who share the same passion. So, pwede kang makipag-collab or makiconnect sa other writers to make a better creative nonfiction writers. So, these tips may sound simple but they build the foundation of a good writer. So, discipline, curiosity, and honesty. So, pwede mo yung gawin, yung tatlong tips na yon to become a better creative nonfiction writer. So, let's proceed to the creative nonfiction writing prompts. So, we have 5 creative nonfiction writing prompts. So, we have explore different perspective, write about a location, reflect on a piece of art, write about an event, and lastly, experiment with genre. So, diba, sometimes starting is the hardest part. So, here are the few writing prompts to help you begin your creative nonfiction journey. So, the first one is explore different perspective. So, pwedeng write about a personal memory from someone else's point of view. So, na-mention ko na siya kanina about POV or perspective. So, for example, your childhood story from your parents' eyes. So, pwede yun yung gamitin mo. Pwede namang first person or yung POV mo. Next is write about a location. So it means choose a place that meaningful to you and describe it deeply. So not just how it looks but how it makes you feel. So kailangan isa 'yun sa mga creative non-fiction writing prompts uh, para makapagsimula ka ng yung story. So the third one is reflect on a piece of art. So it means write about how a certain song or film or painting affected your emotion or reminded you of something in your life. So pwede yon kapag nakakakita ka ng mga or nakakadinig or nakakapanood ka ng mga film or song or painting. The fourth one is write about an event. So it means choose a real event that shaped who you are today. So describe what happened and reflect on its meaning. So yun lang yung isa sa mga pwedeng prompts na pwede mong gamitin sa pag-start ng iyong story. So the last one is experiment with genre. So it means try writing in the form of a letter. Pwedeng diary entry or travel essay. You can express the same truth in many creative ways, di ba? So, pwede yon. Experiment with genre. So, all of that prompts are not just exercises. They're ways to practice honesty and self-expression. So, pwede mo siyang magamit to start your story. So, yun yung mga prompts na pwede mong ma-use kapag gagawa ka ng isang story. So, in conclusion, writing creative nonfiction is a beautiful way to express truth through storytelling, di ba? So, it allows us to share real experiences in a way that both educates and inspire. So, it's not just about what happened. So, it's about how it felt and why it mattered. So, by following the 4 golden rules, yung diniscuss ko kanina, practicing regularly, and writing from the heart, we can all become storytellers who bring the truth to life through words. So, that's the summary of my report about writing creative nonfictions. So, I hope you understand my report. That's all po, and thank you for listening, and that's the end of my report about writing creative nonfiction.